Upanishadic student is well prepared. So let us prepare ourselves. As we mentioned, it's an experiential Upanishad. Be aware of what experience we are having right now of touching, smelling, hearing, tasting. And the topic, what happened in the last time where you have read the summary, is how that experience is happening. How do I know that I know? How do I know that I am feeling this? Because we are so attached to what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. This question by this sadhak is a very in-depth question. So after the session starts, we'll do a small meditation technique which will help us to understand what is the topic. Because in this Upanishad, in the second verse itself, the Uttam Sadhak has realized. So today we will go to the answer also. We saw the question last time. So let us keep our body still, mind cheerful, peaceful, withdrawing all attention from the past, future, and the mind, when focuses on the now, here and now, the mind dissolves because there is no mind in the now. Mind and thought means there is always past or future. So a cheerful mind, clear intellect, only interested in this inquiry now for this time, that what is that which illumines the experience? What is that which illumines the thought, the seeing, the experiencing, the feeling, the thinking? So let us invoke God's grace and Guru Parampara's blessings to understand this by this Upanishad question and answer and a dialogue between Shishya and Guru by chanting loudly together. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयम् करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करम् शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवम् बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। शान्ति मंत्र। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणमे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु। ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम्।
Vidya, you can chant the first mantra, the question.
ॐ केनेषितं पतति प्रेषितं मनः केन प्राणः प्रथमः प्रैति युक्तः केनेषितां वाचमिमां वदन्ति चक्षुश्रोत्रं क उदेवो युनक्ति।
Thank you, Vidya. So we are doing Kenopanishad, and Ken word means by what? By whom? And we are on the first mantra where we are trying to understand and analyzing the question what the Shishya is asked. So the Shishya is not asking the question where our attention is there whole day. Please ask yourself one question, that when you get up in the morning till I sleep, where is my attention? Where is my attention? Attention is on what I am doing, what I am feeling, what I am thinking, why I am thinking. That is also good for a spiritual sadhak. If a spiritual sadhak is doing that, that is still good. But a non-spiritual sadhak is more interested in what is happening outside. Why that neighbor's dog, and then what is happening in the world. That person is still not started the journey of spiritual exploration. The journey is only till information gathering. And you will see this Upanishad is going to destroy our conceptual framework of information and knowledge. And for every spiritual sadhak, this step comes where the sadhak feels or thinks that I know Atma. Sthula Sukshma Sharira Vyatiriktam. I know. Tattvabodh, I know. Tattvabodh, I have done. It is a basic test. Praman Granth. Panchakoshatita. Avasthat Sakshi. Then who am I? That is not I am. I am that. Satchidananda Swarupa. That I know. That I know is a problem for us. Please note this. I know is a big problem for spiritual sadhak. Initially, it is good, I must know. But later on, this I know is becoming a problem, because when I sit for meditation, I know Atma. Satchidananda Swarupaya, but what it means, these are only words. And these words are creating one concept, and I am only stuck in that concept. When will I experience it myself? So, this Upanishad is a very experiential Upanishad. Directly is going to deal with two traps of a spiritual sadhak. When the spiritual sadhak actually now is sitting regularly and want to experience. So, with that background, we will see, and I hope that you all have read the summary. We still have not concluded the analysis of mantra 1. So, what is the real question? Kene shitam padati preshitam mana. What is the real question? Kena prana prathama praiti yukta. What is the question of the sadhak? What is the force behind all functions? That is the main question. Mind thinks or mind feels, but who enables this feeling and thinking? No, no, I am only thinking and I am only feeling, and I got hurt, I feel happy, I feel sad because of you. Again, there is a big problem. Who is enabling? If actually one who listens to Upanishad, there will be no fights only with anybody. Because I cannot say in life that you are enabling my feeling and thinking. Because of you, I am doing this. No, here the question is, who is that? By whom? By what? Breath flows. What powers the life? Morning to evening, at night also when I am sleeping, breath is going on. I am not directing it. Please note there are two words in this we are going to ask because there is a opposition coming and asking that why are you using two words? What are the two words? Ishitam, Preshitam. Should have used only one word in Sanskrit. Speech happens by what gives expression. No, no, I am talking because suppose I go from here to the kitchen and I ask, I want food. And suppose you say, but why? By what force are you coming to kitchen and asking? I will say, hunger is the force. What is a big deal? Why Kenopanishad is required? Senses perceive by who, but who is the perceiver behind them? The eyes are seeing right now, the ears are listening just now to the sound. Just now we are listening to the sound of which is coming from laptop. But who is that who is listening? You might say I, but who is that I? No, that I do not know. I know there is some I. There is no doubt about that I am not there. But who is that I? What is that factor which propels my desiring, thinking, feeling, acting? So now we have to pay attention here is that this disciple has realized something by one's own experience. And that realization of this disciple is very, very powerful by one's own observation about how the experience happens. What the disciple here of Kenopanishad has observed that when we ask this question that why are you asking this question? The disciple is saying is that because I can see that my heart is beating, my breathing is happening and it is happening on its own. I am not Ishitam Preshitam, I am not directing, I am not controlling. So who is controlling my heartbeat? And suddenly there is a heart block and then there is a open heart, but who stops? No, no, the heart stops because of cholesterol. That is not the question. So my breathing is happening. See, the observations are so subtle. This disciple is now we see what is the importance of that word, what we spent 2, 3 sessions on that. Sadhya sadhana virakti. He is not interested in what is happening outside and what I will get. He is asking that how this is happening. I am not breathing. My heart is not beating on its own. The blood is circulating on its own. The digestion is happening on its own. That I have studied. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva. Thoughts come, stay, go on its own. This is what I must experience here and now. And here, what will happen? Actually, suppose we listen carefully, our attachment to all these things will go away. This moment. No, no, I am thinking, my opinion, if somebody objects, there is so much of problem to us. I said something, then the other person insulted me. What are we saying? Here, the person is asking that thoughts are coming on their own. Please observe and experience here and now. Just sit quietly, close your eyes, and see there is next thought is coming without my permission. And their thoughts are staying, and then the thoughts are going. No control. No, no, I can control. Right now, I want to think of food. You try this. If you say this, I will say, okay, next 45 minutes, you focus only on this Brahman. See, 1 second also, it will not stay on Brahman. Okay, Brahman is too far off. Just keep your mind and thoughts on the breath and try this. Even for 30 seconds, the thought will not stay on the breathing. It will go here and now, past, future, past, future. Not very easy to keep thought on one thing. Thoughts are created by objects or objects create thought. No, no, when I didn't had any desire. This I had a long discussion with some sadhak. I went into mall and then all desires got created. So mall created the desire. How mall created the desire? No, because I had no desire to shop anything. When I went into the mall, then I saw this shop and then bought it. So object is creating the thought. Object is creating the desire. Please think. Actually, this is it. If this would have been an offline session, we would have had 10-minute discussion on this. Think. So objects cannot create thoughts because we have already learned. Sangat sanjayate kama. It has to be superimposition of myself that this is real object. Then this object is beautiful and that object will give me happiness. Then only the thought generation, desire generation happen. Desire comes much later. Unless there is this superimposition of three, Satyata, Shobhana and Sukha, the desire and thought will not happen only. Mind is disturbing, creating anger, sadness without my permission. No, I want to overcome my anger. I want to overcome my depression. I want to overcome my sadness. But who is creating this? No, no, I am not creating this. Somebody else outside is creating this. Then it cannot be overcome only. I am creating it and I want to overcome it. What a problem. Big problem. So that means I am not creating. Who on its own will create anger, sadness, depression? So it's happening. Body, again, now come to body. Okay, body is inert. Because I can see I have gone to the cremation ground at least once in lifetime and I see if the body is burnt and there is no response from the body when it is burnt, when it is tied up. So body is inert. Please note this is what is the main question. What is the sadhak is asking that we have to catch. The body becomes motionless after death. No movement, no stimuli response. So there is something from that body leaves. I'm not interested in next birth and what. I'm interested in that this body is inert. The thought also is inert because thought is functioning on its own. Because one thought, if thought would have been sentient, but I have the experience that thought is sentient because I have my experience and knowledge is happening because of that thought only. So I hope we are understanding and you are with me flowing. If whatever I am not understanding, please write down notes and say, I didn't understand this, I understood this. The body doesn't have its own sentiency. The thought is not having its own sentiency. So what is the driver behind the entire human system? That is the question what is asking. And the question also is that I am not in control of myself. Otherwise, everyone would have realized, okay, sit straight, head, backbone, straight. Okay, withdraw from past, withdraw from future, keep the mind on Atman, finish, realized. But it doesn't happen that way. So as Guruji gives one interesting joke here, is that suppose you go to a suspense movie and find that suddenly one object is moving on its own. Suddenly the cup is there and the cup from the kitchen comes in front of you. Or suddenly you say, okay, this person without knowledge from somewhere comes in front of you. The things are flying here and there, and so there is bhoot. But that is also happening. That is also only the question that how things can happen on its own. There has to be some force, there has to be some entity, there has to be some one there that I want to know. I'm not interested now in this. So already the vairagya has happened, already the disinterestedness happened in the doing, feeling, thinking, because that is what ego's trap is. Ego will keep us busy in what? Doing something whole day. Feeling something whole day, thinking something, and ego will not allow the attention to come on Atma Brahman. That I will do later on. So main enquiry is that what is giving these insentient entities sentiency? That is the main enquiry. That is where this question is coming from. Because body is insentient and inert, thought is insentient and inert. I am not in control of anything. There has to be some ishitam preshitam. No, why are you saying they're all coming together and then becoming conscious? This is what the science says. Science says that there was a big bang and then all elements came together and it created water, then amoeba, and then this, and then consciousness is a product of the brain. Consciousness came out of the brain. No. So all this coming together creates consciousness, or consciousness is there and all these things are happening in front of it as an illusion. Who is bringing the assemblage together? Who is creating the Big Bang? Main question, who is their boss? What is its nature? That I want to know. Whether I am the boss or somebody else is the boss of this body, mind, thoughts, my life. Anyone remembers who is the boss? From Bhagavad Gita, one of my favorite verse. Kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am the doer, I am the boss. You are not the doer and the boss, Bhagavan says. Is it finite, unconscious, independent? But why you want to know who is the boss? Just live your life, go to school, go to college, get married, 2 children, then roam around and see the world, and then be interested in the experience of touching, feeling, tasting, smelling all the time, because attention is there only. Now the attention has to come back. So there are certain very solid questions. Those who are interested in meditation. One of the question is Ramana Maharshi's question, who is the boss? Who am I? To whom all these thoughts are happening? Who is hurt? Who wants moksha? Who is that I? And here the question is, who is the boss behind all this happening at the body level? What will it give you by knowing? Why don't enjoy the world? No. Now I'm not interested. Who is the boss? Who is illuminating it? I want to know the relationship of boss with me and the assemblage of this human system. Body, mind, intellect. And I want to know who am I and who is this boss and how they are related to each other. That is my inquiry. Means what is the main question? I want to know who I am in reality. And what will be the answer? When I go in search of I, the I disappears. When I go in search of mind, the mind disappears. When I go in the search of thought, the thought disappears, because nothing called as thought. Today you can do an exercise after this session is over, after your dinner is over, before you go to sleep, just sit quietly and then try to touch the thought. Okay, I want to taste this thought. I want to say what this thought is made up of. And then try to go in search of that thought. And then you see the mystery happening there. And then again, if you are interested and you enjoy game, if you are enjoying this game, then you will say, to whom is thought is happening? I. Oh, let me go in search of this I now. And then go in the search of I. And then, as Nisargadatta Maharaj says, for the world disappears and I am remains. And then the I am also goes. And what remains? Pure existence, consciousness, infinite bliss. That remains. And what will happen if I know that my nature is like this? Everything will change. Uncaused happiness, unconditional love, unruffled peace. That will be my nature constantly. It's a big deal, big benefit. So now, as Gurudev says, think. One object cannot be conscious of another object. Just look around the chair, what you are sitting. The chair is not aware of the body. The chair is not aware of the books behind you. The chair is not aware of the table before it. In the same way, how can body as an object be conscious of another body? How can thought, which is an object, be conscious of another thought? No, thought is object or subject. थोड़ा ज्यादा complex हो गया. How eyes are conscious of sense objects? No, because I can see. So eyes are seeing the objects, but the consciousness comes from somewhere else. That is what the question is asking. Because I also is an object only. And the object outside that also is an object. How mind is conscious of thoughts? How entire body is conscious of itself and outside? But I can feel it. I can feel I am conscious. How it seems my thinking, feeling, acting, moving seems a conscious experience. What is the subject and what is the object? This is where the question comes. Who is the subject? Because the eyes become the subject and the chair becomes the object. When something happens in the eye, the mind becomes the subject, eye becomes the object. Then my mind is distracted, my mind is peaceful, my mind is sad. I can know it. So mind becomes the object, something else becomes the subject, intellect. Oh, I know I understood, I know I didn't understand, but I know it. So the knower of that thought also is a subject. Now this becomes the object. That way the meditation, Vedantic meditation goes. And that is called as Neti Neti meditation. Okay, I am not this, I am not object, I am the subject, I am not the object, I am the subject. And then what is illumining that intellect? And when the attention remains there for a sustained period of time, the attention dissolves. And that is liberation. So now there is an objection coming, Nanu. Objection, my lord. Number one, why are you discussing all these things? It is of no point. The question is what? Let us focus on question. The question is what is prompting one to speak? What is prompting one to think? What is prompting one to feel? Answer should be my will, my desire. Why? Suppose I come to your place, for example, and you ask me what prompted you to come to my home. I will say my will. I want to come to your place. And suddenly I get up and go from your house. What is prompting you to go away? I will say it is my will. Why are you asking all this difficult question? That is a objection raised by a person who is not keen on knowing, and this objection helps us to become more clearer. Suppose you speak something. Why are you speaking like this to me? What is prompting you to speak like this to me? My will. मेरी मर्जी. मेरी मर्जी. I will do whatever I. Why you are bringing some other power? Answer is already there. My will. मैं मेरी मर्जी का मालिक हूं. That Salman Khan dialogue is there, no? एक बार मैं एक बार मैं सोच लेता हूं तो मैं मेरी भी नहीं मानता. I don't listen to myself. So my will. So those who have not studied Vedanta, they will get stuck there. If you ask, go outside and ask, why are you doing this? My will. So now Adi Shankaracharya says, no, no, no. Let us respect the question of this Shishya. A Shishya would not go to his guru and ask that what you really want to know is that why I'm speaking, what is prompting me to speak, what is prompting me to see, what is prompting me to talk is my will. That anybody would know without learning Shastra. He would know these common answers, whatever you have mentioned. Why he would come to a guru for that? Even you ask your child that, why have you come to me? I'm hungry, so I'm coming. So hunger is a prompter. Opponent accepts that answer. Okay. Answer clear. Why you are using Ishitam and Prishitam, two words? What is a verse here? Kena Ishitam Patati Preshitam Mana. So there are two words used. Ishitam, Preshitam, which actually mean the same thing, but two words why you are using. Only one would have been enough. So there is a very important point here, is that Bhashyakar says that Ishitam has three meanings. To repeat, to go, to desire. And Preshitam means directed. Now we have to pay attention because further verses are going to come and suddenly if I am not hearing, listening to this, that's the reason when foreigners came or anybody who reads Upanishads on his own, if you see the answer and if you see this, they will get confused only. So desired and directed by whom is the mind functioning? Two are different questions. Who is the desirer and who is the director? Who is controller? So controller we know Ishavasyam idagam sarvam. Ishitam means Ishvara, who is the controller and who is the illuminator. So we have to remember these two words, illuminator and controller. Illuminator means Nirguna Brahma and controller means Saguna Brahma, Ishvara. And because further in the verses it will come, suddenly it is going to refer to Saguna Brahma, Ishvara. So the Shishya has a doubt. The main question is how this inert thing is appearing sentient. Is there something different which is illuminating this inert body? To show this that something different may be there, so two words are mentioned. There is something else than a body, mind, intellect which is illuminating and which is also controlling, directing, willed and directed by. So consciousness gives satta and spurti, existence and illumination. I have to pay attention to this. That is Ishitam, Nirguna Brahma. It just illumines. Brahman is not even aware there is a world. The consciousness and awareness is not even aware that there is a world, there is a body, mind, intellect. And inner controlling and directing, Preshitam, Saguna Brahma. So both are used here. We'll also see in the next slide what is the difference between Brahman, Ishvara and Jiva. Technically, Brahman plus Maya is equal to Ishvara. Isn't it? And here plus Avidya, Atma plus Avidya is equal to Jiva. So we'll go to mantra 2 where the answer is given. So what is the question? Kene shitam patati preshitam mana kena prana prathama praiti yukta. What is that which is directing, which is controlling, what is that which is illuminating this inert, insentient system which is operating on its own? And I think, I feel, and I have a strong belief that I am the controller and I am the doer of this. So what is the second mantra? Now here the Guru would have said Kena Tena, but Guru is not saying, and that is where this spiritual sadhak gets stuck, like most of us get stuck with the pointer, as Gurudev says, and doesn't move to the pointed. And that's the reason this Guru has given a different kind of answer. And why that answer is given like that, that we will see. Yeah, Vidya. So can we chant verse number 2
Twice.
twice? Yeah.
श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रं मनसो मनो यद् वाचोह वाचं स उप्राणस्य प्राणः चक्षुषश्चक्षुरतिमुच्य धीराः प्रेत्यास्माल्लोकादमृता भवन्ति श्रोत्रस्य श्रोत्रं मनसो मनो यद् वाचोह वाचं स उप्राणस्य प्राणः चक्षुषश्चक्षुरतिमुच्य धीराः प्रेत्यास्माल्लोकादमृता भवन्ति.
Very nice. Not very easy to chant the third pada. The teacher is saying it is the ear of ear. What is prompting to listen or hearing the sound? It is the ear of ear. It is the mind of the mind. Manaso mano. Then it is vachoham vacha. It is the speech of speech. It is the life of life. It is the eye of eye. What is this answer? And having abandoned the sense of self or I-ness in these rising above sense life, the wise becomes immortal. Now, suppose any person who comes without, without any background or not believing in Guru Parampara system directly and finished, job is over. Okay, what is illuminating the eyes? I know. It is all Atma and Brahman. Yes, Atma and Brahman, but here the Guru is not mentioning Atma or Brahman, and there is a reason for it, and that is what this Upanishad highlight is. So I'll repeat that this is the highlight of the Upanishad, that Guru is not directly mentioning Atma Brahman or not giving any attribute of that, and it is using the ear of the ear. Means is there another ear behind the ear? Is there another eye behind the eye? Is there another prana behind the prana? No, no, no. That we have to analyze. So from Kena question, the answer would have been Tena. So how the question is? Kene shitam padati preshitam mana. The Guru would have said, don't think so much. Kena padati preshitam mana, tena atma. Finish. Okay, finish. Go back. But here is not saying so, because the moment the Guru says Atma or Brahman, I will go with Atma as a word, Atma as a Brahman. And then he explains that why he is taking this route. Like suppose somebody asks you, who sent you? So you should say, the common answer is Mr. X sent me or no one sent me. But here instead of that, suppose after reading Kenopanishad, suppose you go to Bhajiwala tomorrow and say, Bhajiwala asks you, who sent you? The sender of the person has sent me. This of that. Suppose I say the other person will get confused. Why you saying eye of the eye, ear of ear, mind of mind? Is there actually another ear, eye, mind? Why are you not saying Atman or Brahman or you directly, I? Simple, Upanishad is over. But entire Kenopanishad book is there. So very, very important point here that the moment the Atman Brahman is mentioned, I will make a concept, I will make a word out of it, I'll get stuck into the pointer and I will not be able to transcend that. And that Guru doesn't want it. Why you're not saying that there is a reality and describe the reality? Because the reality is nameless, actionless, activityless, attributeless. The moment I say something about Atma, that's the reason Buddha kept quiet. Never discussed about Atma only, Brahman. He said there is nothing. Nothing means what mind can reach, there is nothing. There is nothing which mind can hold on to. The moment I give some word to the mind will hold on to. What is the we will cover the topic today. One eye becomes subject, another eye becomes object of seeing. That is not possible. So now, take a deep breath and now listen what is the answer. Suppose you say, what is that which is prompting the fan to rotate? Suppose your grandchild asks, and you say, fan of the fan. So what is fan of the fan? Fan of the fan is electricity. Electricity is the fan of fan, but I am not using electricity as a word because nobody in this world today has seen the electricity or touched the electricity or felt the electricity. What you have felt or what I have seen is the effect of it. So fan is moving because of electricity. Electricity is different than fan. Electricity is one which is making fan bulb function. And that's the reason the answer what Guru has given as the eye of the eye. That eye of the eye is what? It is different than this eye. But we cannot give a name to it. We cannot give an action to it. We cannot give an attribute also to it. And that's the reason we cannot go ahead. It is already 7:47. So that's the reason the teacher is answering here in a different way. So now sadhana or meditation for this week on Kenopanishad. Just right now we can just realize, who want to realize here and now, because realization is here and now. So just see first, number one, focus on your experience, what is happening. And do not say, I need to focus here, I need to think. No, no, just experience what I am feeling, thinking, seeing, touching, sensing. No condition, no control. Yes, I am experiencing that. I cannot deny it. Then second question I ask, this is a sadhana for this week. Am I aware of my experience? Those whose cameras are on, at least say yes. Yes or no? Yes or no? Am I aware of my... Yes, I am aware of my experience. So now the attention I have to shift from aware to awareness. Because whole day and night for years, for aneka janma samprapta, my attention is on the experience. Content of experience, I have to withdraw and then ask only one powerful question. Am I aware? And the attention will shift to awareness. And then ask this question, what is the nature of this awareness? And then when the mind starts withdrawing towards from the content of experience to awareness, which is here and now, that becomes Kenopanishad meditation. Am I aware? Yes. Then I want to know the nature of awareness, then the experience. This I keep doing, keep doing, keep doing. One day the mind will just be focused on awareness, it will dissolve. Because mind, the attention is illumined by the awareness only. So there are two words, awareness and attention. And I have to withdraw the attention from the content of experience and focus on awareness. How to do? By asking this powerful question. What is that powerful question which will shift immediately, whether you want it or no, it will shift. Am I aware of this thought? Yes. And suddenly the attention will come on awareness, then the thought. So that is a meditation I have to practice. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you very much.